Yeah. Hi, folks, and happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there, and a happy Mother's Day to all you single fathers out there who are playing both roles because there is no mom. Hope everybody's having a good day. Now, as far as all you people out there who want this whole abortion thing, I want to talk about this because it's gone too far. I got into an argument today on Facebook with a woman who could not find anything in my argument to argue with me about, so she threw in abuse as a reason for having an abortion. I'm sorry. No. No. Because here's the thing. Women aren't the only ones who get abused. And it's high time that a society in America figured that out. Now, we all saw it on the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case, where it has been publicly now known that Amber Heard abused Johnny Depp. And a lot of people are acting like, oh my God, well, this is unprecedented. We never hear about this. Yeah, do you know why? Because men don't talk about being abused. Because if a man talks about being abused by a woman, it makes him look weak. Because that's how society has raised men. Men are raised to protect, respect, and take care of women. That's what we were, at least my generation, that's what we were raised to do. And don't you ever raise a hand to a female. Okay? That's what I was raised. And I'm not that much older than the majority of, I mean, I'm in my 40s. You can't sit there and tell me that the majority of you men in your 40s were not raised that way. So when you get into a relationship with a female who manipulates you and treats you like a doormat or like a piece of chewed gum you find on the bottom of your shoe, what are you supposed to do? Some men would get up and leave. Understandable. Most men, according to women, would turn around and smack a bitch. But some of us men, probably not as tiny as I think, but some of us men stayed in that relationship. Now, there could be tons of reasons why, but the majority of the reason why men would stay in an abusive relationship is because, number one, they're afraid to admit that they failed, because that's how men are raised. Can't have failure, gentlemen. Or number two, the female has gotten them thinking that, has broken them down to the point where that they feel so lost and so helpless that if they leave this woman, they won't know what to do, or they'll never find anyone else better than her. Because women play that game too. You see, it's not just men who abuse women. More men probably physically abuse women than women physically abusing men. But women still abuse men. They still play with their heads. Get them to believe certain things. In my case, it was a little worse. Because there's also ways that a woman can sexually abuse a man. Like, let's, for instance, withhold sex from a man because the man didn't perform the way that she wanted him to. Or some women will go and they'll do their little creep thing where, a harmless, flirtatious little thing with some guy at the bar during ladies' night means absolutely nothing. but yet you still technically cheated on your man. Or there's also the get pregnant and then boot the man out and force the man to have to pay an outrageous amount of money to take care of a child that he never sees or never gets to actually interact with. Because that's where a lot of your deadbeat dads come from. Is it's not the dad doesn't want to be involved, it's the woman doesn't want the man involved at all. So she makes up this elaborate story that the father is a deadbeat dad. The reason I know that is because my ex-wife tried to do that with my son. How I wasn't involved. Frankly, we all know the truth, though. That's why I have custody of my son, and she doesn't. You see, there are women in this world who are just as manipulative and harmful and abusive as men are. It's an absolute fact. So when it comes to this, let's use abuse as an excuse to have an abortion, I guarantee half of those cases aren't even real, or reasonings aren't even real. Because women know how to bat an eye, make the tears fall, and turn any story around into it's the man's fault. So, honestly, I'm happy Roe versus Wade gets turned over, and that women actually have to take care of their responsibility. If you're gonna do the deed, then be prepared to breed. Because if you're not gonna take the precautions to make sure that you don't get pregnant while you're having sex, don't turn around and use an abortion as a reasoning to just have sex and then get rid of the problem. Because that's what it is. That's what you're fighting for. You can't tell me anything different. Because I know that you can go to abortion clinics and have to pay out of pocket to have an abortion. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it's expensive. I know. But, like I said, if you don't want to have kids, but you want to have sex, take the necessary precautions. It's 2022, okay? Women are so empowered that honestly, if you're in an abusive relationship, leave. You know? Start I mean, we live in a time now where people carry around freaking guns. If you're afraid you're going to get raped, grab a gun. Take a gun with you. Protect yourself. But come on. Stop using the same lame excuses for there to be a reason to have an abortion. Medically, there are reasons to have an abortion, and I know what those medical reasons are. And that's between, you know, a practicing physician and the people involved. Medical reasons. Birth defects, dead in utero, or harmful to both the child or the mother, then yeah, have an abortion. But just don't have an abortion just because you spread your legs and you now don't feel like you want to have a child. Because it's your body and it's your right. Which, again, if you're going to fight biology and how you're physically made, but that's a whole different story for a whole nother. Actually, I already talked about that, I think. So let's not beat the dead horse. Furthermore, folks, I want you to look at the big picture in all this. How many times is abortion brought up in a 5-year time span? It's all over the news, it's all over social media, and people are constantly fighting and protesting over it. And then all of a sudden, poof, it goes away and something new takes its place. Whether it's a pandemic, celebrity gossip, a war, stock market crashing, gas prices going up. The media is always throwing something at us to get us to divide and think about something else other than what's really going on in our country. But hey, don't take my word for it. Be an educated person, act like you graduated high school, and take a look. That's all you gotta do. Take a look back in time. Because, you have a wealth of information in the palm of your hand. Take a look back in time and see how this happens every single... When a president's ratings start going down, a hot button issue comes up, and everybody forgets about how bad the president suddenly is. Coincidence? I think not. I think the majority of the stuff that we end up fighting over in a year or 4 years during a presidency is just thrown out there because the media knows that it's going to divide America, and it keeps us distracted from whatever stupid shit our elected official is doing. Don't be surprised if by the summertime, I'd say in a couple of weeks, don't be surprised if you suddenly hear on the news something about a new variant of Omicron 5000 or a new LGBTQIALMNOP comes out. It's ridiculous, folks. It seriously is. But this has been Jay Joyner. I hope you have a wonderful day. Keep it classy. Keep it snappy. Love you. Bye.